So I'm just playing with this guy, and it's really hard to keep it going with this Bedini circuit. See? Let me turn it off. I think it's because I have such little magnets on here. These are like N35s, and they're really small. If I get it going really fast and pump a lot of juice into it, it works really good. But that's not why I've called you here together. I want to show you something. Let me put this on pause. All right, so I had to shush my beautiful wife out of here. We were cleaning our garage, and it's looking pretty good, but this is why I called you here. You guys remember this thing, right? All right, I haven't given up on it, but this is a prototype, like the one before it that was full of gears. We realized, Spaceman Aust and myself realized that the gears probably weren't going to cut it, so we needed to go with just a regular ring. And then Spaceman and myself both had the same outcome, you know, cogging, sticking. It can be fixed, it can be overcome. But again, it's a prototype. So Spaceman, being the brilliant CAD programmer that he is, got to work. And we've been printing out this. So as you can see, this is a much cleaner design. Fewer parts. Here's the ring, which is this guy right here. Here's the ring. Here's the coils. And these are the coil housings. This is what it would look like face on. And so to show you what we did, so here's the 1/2 of the coil housing. And as you can see, it would go like, no, it would go like this. All right. So the coils would sit in there. And then this is the best part. Here's the ring. And so this ring is going to sit in there on new rollers. So the rollers would be like right here like this. And so you're looking at the ring and you're saying, well, that looks great, Mike, but how are you going to get the magnets in there? Well, these guys pull apart like this, and it just so happens that these magnets that we were using fit in here perfectly. And we can slide them, I can either create spacers and just maybe like put 2 of them in there at a time. Can't get them apart. But put 2 of them in there, right here, spacer, 2 right here. But probably what we're going to do is something to this effect. Here, let me get the magnets. Something like this, because they fit in there perfect. And we'll put a spacer there, a spacer there. So it's probably 3 magnets. With a spacer, 3 magnets, spacer. So basically, completely around, and these things take little pins, like little pins that will go in there and hold this together. But this thing is beautiful, and it's smooth. Now, I've also been taking suggestions from Sky Collection. He thinks that these coils don't need to be like this. And he's partially right. They don't need to be like that, but they could be like that. So the new coil, if I decide to build one, is going to be more of a pancake coil. So it will sit, it'll sit inside here. And we have, I didn't bring them out, but we have these bobbins that are about this wide. So the coil will only be about this wide. So it's not going to be a full curvature, or it could be. I'm going to try to use these, to see what happens. But with the new coil design, it can be more or less like a pancake coil, the way Sky Collection kind of suggested. And these things are beautiful, the way they fit together. I mean, they snug up like that. And then you have another one that would be on this side here like this. I don't want to snap it together because they fit really well. And as you can see, and then the coil would go in between here, so it would sit like this. Let me pull this up like this. So it'll sit like that. So basically, this guy here. So we have two halves. So we'll have two of these. These are the main housings. One will be on this side, one will be on the other side, just like this guy here. It'll have a cleaner base system, which I haven't printed out yet. Let me grab this guy. But there are so fewer parts. Now, I didn't really need to print out new rollers, but I think these are a little bit smaller than the existing ones. But I really like this design. It's really simple. And like most prototyping and working on stuff, you start out pretty crude, still really nice, but pretty crude. And you work your way through the process, right? And Spaceman was just, I mean, that guy got some CAD skills that won't quit. And he saw what was going on with both of our setups. And although this could be fixed, it's not that bad. It spins pretty freely. I'm going to work on this new design with this new ring. Now, the only downside is that the parts, these parts take forever to print. But they came out beautiful. I mean, look at that. Oh, God damn it. That has that nice textured pattern that I have for my base plate. Oops, sorry. I used to have a very smooth bottom, which I still could, but I kind of like this texture. So it's going to sit like that on the new system. One like that. Actually, I'm sorry, it'll sit like this, and like this. With the coils in between it. So we won't have these. We won't have this type of base. We won't have these base plates, although they could probably still work. I never even saw if they were the same dimension. Yeah, they actually kind of are. No, they're a little bit different. Anyway, I'm printing out the second half of this guy here. Black. And so this will be a red and black model. So yeah, really nicely done, Spaceman. I cannot wait to get this going. And yeah, I'm going to try these coils. If they don't work, I'm going to try the new coil setup, the pancake coils in the 3 areas. And they sit between 2 bobbins, and it's a jig, actually. And once you wind the coil on the jig, you slide out the jig, and the coil will be right. Yeah. Well, you guys will see. Yeah. I'm hoping to get something actually working here shortly. I'm still gonna, I think what I'm gonna do is, I got 2 new circuits from Sky Collection. They're the JL94 circuits. These guys here. These guys here. So that means I've got 3 or 4 of them now. So he told me, and it makes sense, to put 1 JL on each coil and fire it up and see what happens. And even with the sticking, that may work. But I think I want to get this guy going first. If I get successful with this guy, then I'll come back to that guy, because he'll still be here. All right. Ciao. Oh, and really quick, that opening shot with that motor, that was just because I was completely bored. I wanted to see if I could get this guy going. And so I 3D printed a housing, a bearing housing, like over here, and of course the rotor with a little end on each side to separate it. What I should have done was spin it around and put those together so that it would create more of a magnetic field. This so far apart like this, and these being so weak, yeah, it wasn't a good look. And it was just an experiment. I just wanted to fart around. I'll probably take this apart, swap these, put them together, and of course north, south, north, south, north, south. And this is Sky Collections coil, which is a freaking gorgeous coil. And so the JL94 circuit should have worked, but there wasn't enough magnetic field to activate the circuit. Anyway, yeah, I will talk to you guys on the next one.